Now we have to talk about callback queues and event loop. So what will what we'll be learning today, how callback queue and event loops works. Okay, how callback queue and event loop works. As we have seen before, let's understand what the event loop and callback queue and how they work with some examples. We have already learned about web APIs, So now let's see how these three components, what are the three components, callback queue and event loop and web APIs components work together in a context of a single threaded language like JavaScript. So these three components, how to achieve multi-threaded functionality, and we will also explore how this multi-threaded functionality contributes to flawless website render. So we have to watch some example with it so we can get a greater image with what is event loop, how this will help with flawless web application rendering. So let me show with some example. So I have to copy some code from I previously wrote. So I am going to copy this code and paste it here. So paste it here. You can clearly see what this function will do to this call stack web APIs and callback queue. So firstly, as before I thought, first I am explaining what this piece of code will do. So this code uses the setTimeout method to schedule the execution of several functions. So there is a some functions, event 1, event 2, event 3, event 4, event 5. So this schedule to the execution of several functions that are event 1 to event 5. After specified delay in a milliseconds, each timeout call takes two arguments, the functions to be executed and the delay in the milliseconds. When the code is executed, the following sequence of events happens. First, the first timeout method is called and schedule the execution of event 1 after delay in 1000 milliseconds in the web APIs. Then the second timeout call schedules the execution of event 2 after delay of 2000 milliseconds. Then third will be do the same. Then 4, then fifth. After that this program is terminates. After specified delays, each of the scheduled function is executed in order they were scheduled. Each function logs a string to the console using console log. So after 1 second, the string hello is logged into the console. After 2 seconds, the string how is logged into the console. So what happened? This is repeatedly happen after all the things popped out from the call stack. This program will terminate. So now we are going to see what happened when I hit the serve and run button, what happened with this call stack, web APIs, callback queue and this piece of circular. So let's watch what happened. I am going to hit the serve and run. So you can see something happen with these three box and that circular thing with turn clockwise. You can see these things. So that circular thing is called event loop. This is the main part of this thing. That circular thing is called event loop. So next we are going to, of course, we are going to talk about this thing with this code. Now just say this is the event loop. So it finished. So this is the event loop. So as you see, first this setTimeout function pushed into this call stack. After that, it's set a timer. So that setTimeout timer is web API. So this function will go into pop into this web APIs, and in that web APIs that timer is start, and that function wait in that web API. After that timer is finished, the web API push this function into callback queue. In the callback queue, this function wait until each and every setTimeout function come to this callback queue. After that function happen, then callback queue. Queue means first in, first out. What is the thing first inside to the uh, inside to the callback queue? That will pop out first in call stack. So first function is pop from callback queue to the call stack. Then call stack execute that function, then console log it, and then popped off from call stack. So what is happen with this event loop? This event loop will check there is any function remind here in queue, and is call stack is empty. This is the job for the event loop. And this event loop, just think about the gate security. Event loop is a gate security. So this gate security will check the call stack. Is the call stack empty? If it is, then he will open that gate and let the next function into call stack. After that call stack pop execute that function and pop forth from the call stack, this event loop repeatedly check is call stack is empty and is there any reminder function in queue. Let's talk about with this piece of code. So when the code is executed, the following sequence of events happens. The first timeout call schedules the execution of event 1. After delay 1000 milliseconds, the set timeout method is part of the web APIs and responsible for the set time. So I hit here. Okay. So now you can see set I hit the server and run. The set timeout function come to sit and call stack. Then it will execute what it set a timer. So what will happen? Timer is in that web API. So this popped off from call stack and then going to web APIs. Then the timer is started. The timer is waiting, running in web APIs. Then after it finish the timer, web API push into the callback queue. Let's see. Okay, now see it push off from web APIs to callback queue. Now this event one wait, all these functions are come call stack and execute pop off from call stack and pushed into the web APIs, wait with the delay timer, then it will come to the callback queue. So the callback queue store these function in the order. So we can now set timeout function event 2 waits, then pushed into the callback queue. Event 3 wait, then pushed into the callback. So you can see event 3 event 2, while the event 2 is waiting in the APIs, the set timeout function event 3 is executing a call stack. This is called asynchronous. Now imagine delaying the event 2 will happen in the web APIs at the same times called JavaScript engine execute the event 3. Event 3 are in the event 3, while event 3 waiting in web APIs, event 4 is executed. So JavaScript engine only can't handle the multi-threaded, but browser can handle the multi-thread. So this is browser give to the JavaScript engine, the browser give to web APIs and help of callback queue and event loop. So just watch here. So let's wait. So let's wait. Let's wait. And I am receiving. Okay, all the events are uh, pushed into callback queue. But after event 5 set timeout function event 5 is executed from call stack, this event loop check there is any call stack, there is anything in call stack. So there is no function in call stack after set timeout function event 5. So what will happen? Event loop turn on the open the gate and let slide event 1 to call stack from callback queue. Then it happened callback queue. Now you can see event 1 is execute at the same time event 5 waiting in the web APIs at the same time event 2, event 3, event 4 are waiting from callback queue. So this will repeatedly over 5 times that event 5 lastly execute. So yes, we can see. Now see event 1 console log pop off from call stack, check the event loop open the gate, event 2 get into the call stack, pop off from call stack, then event loop check the call stack empty, then it will open the gate, let slide into the event 3. This will happen repeatedly what that piece of code tell. So you can see now we can fetch any data from any API endpoint and we can do simultaneously any other code. So we can now handle the asynchronous JavaScript with these three components. This is the thing what API and callback queue and event loop contributed to the web application for the rendering flawless web application. Okay, this is how event loop work. So I am finished this video now, and there is also one so very sorry for that. I am forget one thing. Why we need to this callback queue? Why we need to this callback queue? Just wait just wait every function in web APIs, then event loop will enter in event loop will allowed to enter in call stack. We can use that way. Why we need to this callback queue? That is a waste of time, and that yeah, you we can think about like that. So what is the importance of callback queue? So just imagine a game with code with JavaScript. Just imagine the Super Mario. So Super Mario, just imagine a single scenario, simple scenario. The Mario will jump off from the floor to the some sort of height, and then he will kill the enemy. So there is a when we click the button, there is a three three things happen. What will happen when we click the click function happen, then Mario jump function happen, then kill enemy, then enemy action happen, enemy kill enemy function happen. So if there is no callback queue, first we click and then suddenly kill the enemy. So what happened when we click the button, the click function is here, then event loop, there is no function in call stack, event loop come to push into that click function here. So click function wait here, and after that jump function, then after that kill function. So what will happen, first in a stack, first in last out. So what is the last thing in call stack? The last thing in call stack is a kill function, then kill function pop off, then jump function pop off, then click function pop off. So that is a opposite way, we can't play the game. So what have to happen, first click, then jump, then kill. So in that purpose we have callback queue. What happened in click wait here, then there is no there is no function in call stack. What is queue? First in first out. What is first in? Click function, then click function going to the call stack, then it will pop out, then jump function come to the callback queue, then it will go to the call stack, then jump function execute, after that kill function execute. So we can manage that game with JavaScript code. That because we want callback queue. Now let's talk about uh, something something with onClick thing. Um when we click button, what will happen with the API? We talk about with this event loop thing. Okay. So in order to do that, I am going to copy some piece of code. Okay. Now uh, we we can move on to the click function. When we are click something in a web application page, what will happen with this web APIs and callback queue and call stack and JavaScript engine? We have to talk about what will happen. So in order to do that, in order to explain that, I have to copy some piece of code from my previous thing. So I am going to come VS Code. I already uh, done. Okay, this is this code will do the work with web APIs. We have known some built-in web APIs. We talk about the console and explain it. We talk about the Ajax requesting and explain it, and we also talk about setTimeout and we explain it. Now I am going to explain what will happen with the DOM, document object model. In the DOM we can manipulate the web page. How we will manipulate the web page? By clicking some buttons. So I will copy this code and paste it here. Paste it here. So now I am going to hit the save and run button. What will happen? We can first. So I hit the save and run. Firstly, we just watch what happened with these things. Okay, I hit the save and run. So now we watch something will happen with these things. Okay, now I am going to click this click me button. This is the thing, the document from the web page. What is the document? This is a piece of HTML code that is define a button. So when I am click this button at the moment, you can see, wait, you can see there's a callback queue function. Okay, now we can talk about what will happen. So this is happen when we are going to this. So this code execution start with the main thread of the JavaScript engine. So this is will start with the JavaScript engine. The on method is called to attach an event listener to the button element. So this is the attach an event listener to the button element. So button element. So this method is part of the jQuery library and it's not built in JavaScript method. So this is not built in JavaScript engine. So that will wait in the HTML thing. So we can get that thing from jQuery library. The console log method is called log the string hi. After this is happen, what will happen when server hit the serve and run button? This on function come to call stack. That on function, what is that on function? That is a DOM API. So document model object. So then it will pop out to call stack and push to web APIs. Then wait in web APIs for when the user click the button. After click the button, that click function is pushed into the callback queue. Then it will pushed into the call stack, pop out from queue and pushed into the call stack. Then it will be executed. After that, what this is console log hi. This is some set timeout function. In meanwhile, this button click wait in the API, there is also this function is execute from call stack simultaneously. Just watch repeatedly. So the so so now we can see the on click button function is pushed into the call stack. Then it will pushed into the web APIs. That on click button, what will this fetch? This is the DOM. This is wait for the DOM action. So this will wait in a web APIs for when the user for still when the until the user click on click me button. So now we can see assume it will wait at the same time, below the code is rendering the website. Below the code is rendering to the website. What will render after that? It will wait until it will wait in the web APIs. Just imagine if there is any button in the web page, if web APIs or callback queues are doesn't interact with them, you have to click the button. You have to click the button. After click that button, the web pages will render remaining below parts. But that is a very bad thing for web application. It will wait to the click moment and render remaining part of the web page simultaneously. So that's how work web application. That is happening here. So it will wait to user click the button in web APIs, but in call stack the remaining part of the code will execute from call stack. After click that resume button, then setTimeout function is come to call stack, then pop off from web call stack and pushed into the web APIs, and then timer is start. After that timer is start, uh, that will be pushed into the callback queue. Okay, that and the but in that in that meantime you can see four things are happening simultaneously. The console log welcome to the loop is happening to call stack, rendering into the call stack. The on button click is wait in web API. The timer is going to time run the time, and I am just click the click me button. So the click me function from this DOM API come to callback queue and wait here for empty call stack after empty the call stack. So now I am just resuming. The timeout function is come to wait callback queue. There is no function in call stack, so event loop to the click out. Then after that event loop after that event loop will pop off the callback queue functions into call stack. Okay, this is the things uh, happen with call stack, web APIs, callback queue, and event loop. How this is how the web applications basically work flawlessly. These are the things now are built-in functions in many frameworks like React, Vue. So many frameworks have these function in a built-in form. So we don't worry about these things, but we have to know something this. So in next video we are going to talk about micro queue, micro callback queue. What is micro callback queue? What is callback queue? What is the difference between them? How they will work simultaneously? So we are going to discuss about the micro callback queue in the next video.